All right. Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. We know of no petitions from the audience, so we'll go right past that.
Can you do roll call?
Oh, yep, got a roll call. That's right. Thank you.
Bradshaw,
Here.
Trammell,
Here.
Shropshire.
Here. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, discuss possibly approve the minutes of the February 11th, 2025 meeting. Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? I hear no discussion. Call for the vote.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Shropshire.
Yes. Okay, mayor's report. Mr. Mayor?
Okay, I'll keep it short and sweet, so we have plenty of time for item number 5. Let's go down through these tax things. There is something on there that I want to clarify for everybody, just so we are all on the same page. Historically, these are the numbers that are the low ones for the year. You can see that in the, hopefully you can see it. I know it's micro print, but the numbers that we typically report for March are always our lowest month, so no surprise there. We always just look at March and we go, ouch. So, but we are down 41,000 from last year, our last month. Use tax was a pretty hard hit as well. We came in at 99,810, which is 79,000 down from last year. So, altogether, that's quite a bit of a hit, but it's okay. We'll see that bounce back up as we go forward.
Well, no, wait a minute. You said from last year, you mean last month?
Yeah, I meant last month. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, because we're up from last year.
Yes, no. So, yeah, you look at, and let me draw your attention to the line underneath the sales tax. It talks about the average there.
Mm-hmm.
If you look, our average is still 948,000. Last year, 912. Year before, 860. Before that, 858, 808, 775. We are on a steady trend up. I mean, we take into consideration the things that are happening in our economy, all of that. Price of goods goes up. We're going to make more, but in the words of Mr. Dinsmore, he can always tell when the economy is moving positive because there's more trash.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he has recently said there's more trash. So for all that's worth, a little humor
Good
there.
indicator, isn't it?
So, you know, same with the use tax. You'll see 99,000, 81, 96, 88, 99, and we're currently at 103,000 there. So we are seeing the trend up. We're just in that trend. We're going to have a few down months, and this was one we expected. We'll go on to the tobacco tax, which, you know, I think it is what it is. That's one you want to see it go down, but you also, you know, so it's pretty flat. I mean, it is what it is, 4,299. The hotel motel, we had some questions about that, and I'm going to let Jay jump in there if I get too far off, respectfully, if you're okay with that, since she is kind of handling some of that. Mm-hmm. It shows 487. Got an email today from another council member who said, hey, but the receipts from Mrs. Ballou show that it was a little over 20,000. This just came through about an hour ago, or I saw it about an hour ago. Yes, the deposits that are going in are more than 487. When I asked Jay about that, it's because a lot of those payments that are coming in, those deposits, are from previous year or previous months. They're just getting caught up. The 487 is what's been collected for that particular reporting period. So the big question is, why is there such a struggle getting these tax dollars in? I was just talking with Hannah. I've talked with some of the council, your council mates. For whatever purpose in the past, one of our previous administration, whatever, made the decision that we would collect that tax. I think the desire is going forward. There's a little bit of a fee that the tax commission will charge. Let's say arbitrarily 3%, 4%, whatever that is. I think it's in the best interest of the city to let the tax commission go ahead and collect these taxes and take it off of our plate.
I hate to say it, but they probably have more stroke.
Well, they do, but they also have more stroke, as you say, when it comes to assessing the penalties, the interests, things like that. But we would also collect that regularly. It wouldn't be this like, Jay has been phenomenal in headhunting some of the
I do have to track a lot of it down, and there's also the issue of when they get so far behind, I bill them for their interest. I do the math and I send them an invoice. I don't have a lot of power to make them pay.
Right.
All I can do is call, and they don't particularly care.
And I
But the
think,
tax commission's got a little more bite to it, doesn't it?
right, I think we had one last, what was it, from the one, and I don't want to say names, I'm not trying to throw anybody, there was one handed you a fairly large check, like 50,000.
I ended up
Something.
collecting over $10,000 from one hotel by
Yeah.
sending them invoices and things for their self-reported taxes, but they'll do the math wrong, or they'll leave bits out,
Yeah.
or not calculate interest and things like that.
So I think just in the best interest going forward, I think what we're gonna look at is, and I did tell Jay this afternoon, I said, we need to look at starting that process to passing this torch back to the tax commission. I don't think it's worth the little bit that we would lose to pay them to do it. We have to pay for the service. We just, why are we doing it? It's pointless. It's labor hours, effort, energy, let them do it. So, you know, that might be something that you guys consider.
Does that just require council approval?
We would need to approve a resolution.
Yeah,
But council?
Yep.
Doesn't, okay.
yep. And I don't think there's gonna be, as of now, I don't think there's gonna be any hesitation on that. So
Maybe we need to push that to the council to do that.
You gonna get that on the agenda for next week, or?
I would greatly appreciate that.
Yeah. Are you-
I also wanna make sure that we can do some checking into that process before we throw it on a council agenda.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
if you'll just work with me on that. If I'm ready, we'll be able to do that. So going forward, you know, it's all healthy. Just was a low month. I think most of you have seen the financial numbers that came through for the general account, or he's trying to get the rest of that up and finished and done. So we'll just see where it goes. You have any questions for me?
No, thank you, Mayor.
No?
Appreciate it. Okay, number 5, report from the city accountant. Mr. Coker? Do we need to have a, there's no action to take on this, so we just need to hear the report.
Right. Well, the first page that you have, that I gave, basically, it's a listing of the payroll, personal services for the year through January, and then calculating the average payroll. You've had 16 payrolls for the year. The average payroll, I guess you could say, is 287,000, okay? So I want you to look at the next page, which is January 25. It says that you are 534,000 expenditures over revenue for the year, and 185,000 for the month. But if your average payroll is 287,000, January had 3 payrolls. You won't have another month this year that will have 3 payrolls. So theoretically, if you look at this and you hadn't had that 3rd payroll, the general fund would have been 100,000 to the good. Yep. Okay. So, and a lot better looking in the year to date. Okay. The last page. So, with 4 more months, or no, 5 more months after this, you have 10 more payrolls. Theoretically, I mean, this is theoretically, if you were 100,000 to the good every month for the rest of the year, you would be in close to break even. Now, of course, a lot of that depends upon the revenues and what expenditures come up and all that kind of stuff, so I'm not going to guarantee anything like that. But you are a whole lot better than you were this time last year. So if you look at the last page, this is where you were this time last year, and this is only after 15 payrolls. So you were going to have another month with 3 payrolls, which is not reflected in this. You were 800,000 overspent at this point, with another month coming up of 3 payrolls. So we are doing a lot better. Now the combination is, the reason why is we've had increased revenues, which always helps. And we have cut some. So a combination of the two have made things better. So we need to kind of keep the course as we are.
Stay the line.
Yeah. But the end of the year could look not too bad if things continue the current way.
Good. So basically, we just need to keep up with what we're doing.
Yeah, yeah, and February will be a key to see how we're doing. I don't have February financials, of course, it's still kind of early in the month, but we'll see how our revenues over expenditures look in February, and that will probably give us a good idea of how we're going to finish out the year.
But we'll still have money in the budget that actually is not spent that we'll be able to bring back into the budget for next year.
Well, I mean, we haven't spent all of our cash, if that's what you're saying.
Right.
We still have a reserve. But like, if the year were to end right now, I mean, basically, we would be 500,000 less than we did last year. But I'm hoping that we will decrease that
Right.
overage
Mhm.
in the next 5 months.
Right.
You have
I'm trying to figure out how I want to ask this.
okay.
It seems like we're finding a lot of issues and errors that have occurred, not with just the financials, but just across the board.
Okay.
Do you have confidence that the financials we have been relying on historically are accurate
Materially, I mean. yes.
materially?
Yeah. I mean, sure, there's going to be some little errors probably here and there. We don't search for every single mistake, but materially, you know, your cash balances are correct, your liabilities are correct. So the income and expenses could be in the wrong spot a little bit here and there perhaps, but technically, overall, your financial statements in all material respects.
So relying on those financial statements to make decisions has been okay, materially.
I think so, yeah. I mean, there's little things here and there. I mean, I find a few things now and then too.
I'm not worried about a few $100s here and there. I'm worried about $200,000 here and there.
Have we found anything like that?
I'm not aware
Well,
of
we
it,
were
but
asking you.
Have you know of anything? Because I don't know of anything.
I mean, nothing has jumped out at you that would indicate a red flag like that.
No,
Okay.
no. Like I said, I mean,
Because I want to continue to rely on these financials going forward the way we have.
I think you can. I mean,
Perfect.
we never really we find little things here and there, and we make adjustments for them at the end of the year, but that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, see, that's why when they were talking about, when they first showed me the financial statements, my first question was, did you have a third payroll? The answer was no, because it was supposed to have been posted on the 1st of February, but it got posted to the end of, but I could tell just by looking at the payroll numbers that it had to have the third payroll.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very
We
much.
sure appreciate the work.
Yep.
Are you going to give an update to the full council next week? Is that going to be all? Okay.
Oh, okay, he says yes.
See you Tuesday.
All right, yeah, I'll be here then.
All right, that sounds wonderful.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
You guys have any other questions?
No, I don't.
No,
Okay.
that answers
Thank
all.
you, Jeff. Okay, I know of no unforeseen business, so I would accept a motion, or entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Second.
Motion made and second. No discussion. Call for the vote.
Dremel?
Yes.
Shropshire?
Yes,
Bradshaw?
Yes.
we are adjourned. Well, that was interesting.